This is the last year. You have the existing layout. Starting the year after. I'll just read from one of the accounts I cut and pasted. It's amazing how much the NBA got. Like they got NFL dollars for this. The deals are with ESPN, ABC. Again, they're one entity. NBC, Amazon Prime Video, and subsequently Peacock. Okay,
right, so with NBC,
they will average $6.9 billion per season. The NFL averages $10 billion per season.
Wow, that's pretty close.
That is, for the NBA to get to 70% of the NFL is, wow. That is a great number for them. I'll just give you some highlights. During the last 3 months of the regular season, there will be a national NBA telecast every night on either ABC, ESPN, NBC, Peacock, or Prime Video. ESPN and ABC will continue to be the home to the league's marquee matchups as well as the NBA Finals. Even though the NBA will have 2 broadcast partners for the first time, the Walt Disney Company, again, ABC, ESPN, Walt Disney was adamant about not sharing the finals. Subsequently, it will cost Disney $2.6 billion a year, which is just shy of the $2.7 they pay the NFL.
Wow.
So Disney pays the NFL $2.7 for Monday Night Football.
And a few playoff games, right?
2 playoff games, yep, and the Super Bowl every 4 years.
Which, by the way, they're just getting for the first time.
Okay, so Walt Disney is paying the NBA just a hair less than that for Monday Night Football, playoff games, and the Super Bowl in the rotation. ESPN, ABC currently pays just $1.4 billion per year to the NBA. NBC, those of us who are of a certain age remember it well. They were the network that carried all 6 of Michael Jordan's title runs.
Round ball rock, baby.
They return after carrying the NBA games from 1990 through 2002. NBC's deal with the NBA reportedly averages $2.5 billion per season, which is more than the $2 billion it gives the NFL for Sunday Night Football.
That's nuts. Wow.
So NBC's now paying more for hoops than their football package.
I wonder what that comes out to, like, per game.
So, right, it's the inventory. It's one game a week in the NFL, and it's however many here. So, like, true, but, I'm
just curious.
Did you ever think?
No, I will just say, as a quick aside, it does feel like the NFL has de-emphasized the importance of Sunday Night Football. It's no longer necessarily the premier matchup of the week. That's the 425 window. So maybe NBC doesn't feel like they're getting, the best value at that $2 billion.
So again, NBC's $2.5 billion to the NBA comes with a Sunday night package of games that will start once the NFL regular season is over.
That's a good investment for them.
I like that.
Sense.
I like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's like Sunday Night Football. Okay, here comes Sunday Night Basketball. Like it's seamless, one to the next. They used to do this. Remember when Monday Night Football went to Monday Night Baseball? Mm-hmm. They had Monday Night Baseball during the baseball season. Like I'm all for that. So that's kind of good. Sunday night is like a sporty night on NBC. I'm all for it, as well as NBA All-Star Weekend. You can do that on your own time. Exactly.
Barth is getting disappointed that the NBA dunk contest isn't what it once was.
I've been over the dunk contest for years.
Sure you have been. Reports indicate that NBC's deal also includes regularly aired Tuesday nights and a package of Monday night games streaming on Peacock. So Tuesday night's going to have a national NBC game during the regular season. All right. Prime Video. It will carry games on Thursday night after the NBC regular season ends. I'm sorry, the NFL regular season ends.
Yep, so they get kind of that Thursday night big TNT thing.
Thursday night is, but Thursday night, sporty night on Prime Video.
Yep.
You got football during the football season. When that's over, you'll have an NBA game on Thursday night. Prime Video will also be the main network for the NBA in-season tournament, which I kind of liked. I thought that was a nice diversion. So I was all for that. Now that's going to be kind of an exclusive Prime thing. It will average paying $1.8 billion per season, which is more than the $1.1 it pays the NFL. So the NBA got more money from these networks than what they were paying the NFL in some cases. All the networks will have games during the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. When it comes to the conference finals, ESPN ABC has one series, while NBC and Amazon Prime will alternate who carries the other one.
Streaming.
So this is the one that can kiss the inside of my ass. So there you go. So conference finals, one will be on ABC, ESPN, the other will be on NBC, or every other year Amazon Prime, which means the conference final will be on the internet every other year.
Right. Your Celtics, Knicks, Celtics, Sixers conference final in a couple of years is going to be on Amazon.
That blows.
That's
As you know, you don't need me to enumerate how that blows on a multitude of levels. That sucks. And I hate that about this. The other thing to hate, obviously, is that TNT is out, meaning Barkley, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. This is it. This is the last year. It's dead. Unless Prime Video, NBC lures them over. What do you think?
Yeah, they should. That, to me, inside the NBA is the gold standard of television studio work. TNT's production, their in-game production, their play-by-play production is good. But NBC really, across football, across hockey when they had it, their play-by-play stuff really has been pretty solid. So I'm not as concerned about that. The studio stuff is what we're going to miss here. The studio is the gold standard.
You nailed it. I thought NBC, when they had hockey, did an excellent job broadcasting the games. The game broadcast felt big. It was good. It was well-produced. Well called, like they had good talent in the booth. They had good camera work. They knew the sport. Like I thought,
production value, excellent.
Okay, but the NBC studio show,
oh my god,
as long as if Milbury wasn't on, sucked. No one said anything ever. As I like to say at the time, all you got to do was look into the pretty blue eyes of Patrick Sharp. That man was gorgeous. Name one thing he ever said. Okay.
I was too busy staring.
So NBC did a good job with like the games, and the overall like presentation felt big. I used to like the way the feel of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the studio shows, no one said a GD thing unless Milbury was on, and then they canned him, of course, because he said things.
And then it's the same thing with Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football
night in America. Oh my God, Jack Collinsworth shoved down. Like what?
The only people who could make Rodney Harrison milk with toast. Who, again, Rodney brings it, but there he's just good, and they've relegated him to, is it Jock or Jack? Whatever. But
more Jason Garrett in your face. Like, what?
Who says nothing ever?
Oh, boy, is he one of the worst.
Never said anything ever?
Holy crap, is he bad.
So this is all a long way of saying, if NBC tries to get Barkley, Smith, it's not going to work because they're not going to want him to say anything. The NBC guys are kind of, they're conservative. When it comes to commentary, they are kind of risk adverse. They don't want to be that kind of outfit, and so I think Barkley is too strong a cup of coffee for NBC. I think I don't think that's what they're looking for, and I don't think Never mind. Like so so NBC puts up pretty people who don't say anything, which is not like my favorite guy's Perk. Which is like, he's just kind of the opposite. The prettiest fella you ever seen, but I love his commentary. He's biting. And, with Sam Barkley and that, obviously, that crew's the best. But I don't know if NBC wants just the opposite. They want good-looking people who don't say anything. So that's sort of the problem. I don't think that NBC is the place for Barkley. On the internet? Yeah. Throw him on the internet.
Going to have to be Prime.
But he has said,
they've got the money to pay for it. Like, again, NBC, they're already paying for the games themselves, and I have no doubt that they'll put on a good in-game product, but that's where they would skimp out. It's where they skimped out on the NHL. Their studio stuff wasn't good enough.
But TNT's just the opposite. Their game broadcast, it's true, lacking. I know they've tried it in hockey. It's grown on me a little bit, Bissonnette, and I like Anson Carter, always have.
Yeah, their studio's okay for hockey.
Who belongs on NBC is Hank Lundqvist. You could just gaze at that.
Let me tell you, that double-breasted suit he's got going on there, it's like, I wish I could pull that off.
That's a
sharp,
well put together fella. He's someone who belongs on NBC to say nothing. Just let me look at you. TNT, so they were trying to get there with the hockey desk like they do in basketball. It's kind of there. Not, I see what they're trying to do. Their game broadcasts aren't much, but I think net. I think it's kind of a loss for the fan to get to the point. 25 minutes later, I think it's kind of a loss for us because it is fewer local broadcasts. It is you're going to lose the TNT desk, which is probably the best thing in all of basketball media, and you're going to get NBC that's going to have a nice look to it, but we're not going to be able to play much sound because no one's going to say anything. And did I mention the conference finals on the internet? So I sort of feel like the media deal net is a loss for fans.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I don't know if I'm perfectly fine with it being on NBC because I think the game presentation is going to be excellent, which is what I care about the most as a fan. I think they might upgrade from TNT, but man, I'm going to miss that studio. I'm going to miss that studio, and particularly with what we do professionally, I'm going to miss that studio because they're going to give us sound to react to. Barkley's going to rip the Celtics. He's going to do something. We're going to say, did Chuck get it right or did Chuck get it wrong? You're not going to get that with whoever they put on NBC.
No, they do their jobs, which is they're commentators and opinion makers, and so they make opinions. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but that's what they do. And so that's why that desk is so valuable. It's so rare, increasingly rare. And like the whole thing with just a final thought with the NBA rights and where it's going, it's just going to a national model. And it's like, it's just another chip away. Like, there's hardly anything local anymore. Like, local newspapers dying, dead. Local TV news dying, dead. You have local talk radio, like we're like one of the last bastions of we're in Boston talking about Boston, and this is Boston. But yeah, it's like that's just slowly eroding across all of sort of media. It's all becoming nationalized. And I hate that too, by the way. Like there's just no local coverage to sink your teeth into.
Yeah, you should, because the local people understand it more, right? I mean, it's a common refrain, it's a common complaint from people, when you have a national broadcast, these guys don't know. And back in the day, it's like, you get Joe Buck and Tim McCarver rolling in for a big Yankees game. Didn't you want, McDonough and Remy on a big Yankees game? Because they knew it. They were in it every single day. This hurts the fan.